Live long and prosper. This is the next episode. I think we are actually at episode 39 now. Got confused the other day. Episode 39 of how to live long and prosper, how to enjoy life to the full. And we've been dedicating many a day to speed reading so that I can share this video with my speed reading group that I'm part of on Facebook. And I'm going to show you in the background, or after this piece to camera, I'm going to show you the mind map that is of my whole program and just walk you through that as a preview and review of some of the stuff we've covered. But I need to show you some stuff today on preparation. It's to do with eye exercises. Reading is something that humans have invented, and it's not really natural for their eyes, so it's very, very easy, especially in the days of computer screen reading, for our eyes to get tired. So I want to show you some exercises to look after your eye health. First one is the most simple, to warm your hands. And the idea is to create a cup of warm air that you're going to put around the ring of bones around your eye. Now if you press on your eye, you'll change the shape of your eyeball, which is not a good thing to do, and will give you weird vision for a while. I've tried it, don't recommend it. Instead, what we want to do, if that's the eyeball, we want to have a cup of warm air over the closed eye. Looks like a kung fu move, doesn't it? Wah! To reboot the muscles of the eye and to get the blood flowing into the eye in a very, very healing and invigorating way. And you can put your elbows on the table. My mum used to say, Neil's my first name, Neil, don't put your elbows on the table, but for this one, we're going to disobey that inner voice. Put our elbows on the table, warm the hands, close the eyes, and then cup. Even as I start that, that's beautiful. Cup the hands over the eyes as you reboot the visual circuits. And the lady that taught me this, Vanda North, head of Busan Centres for many years, said it's nice to think of dark things like mole skin or dark chocolate as well. And you just do that for 60 seconds or so. Great thing about that is if you do that in the office and you've got any colleagues near you, you'll find out how many of them are emotionally intelligent, because somebody will come up and go, "Are you okay?" So you can test the emotional literacy of other people. I'll take my glasses off for this so you can see my eyes, hopefully. We need a muscle workout as well as we prepare to speed read. And I grew up when the very, very first computer games came out, and the most famous one was Ping, which were two paddles like hockey that would go up and down, and a puck would then go across the screen as you tried to score into each other's goals. So you shot with the goal thing, and you protected with the goalkeeper as well. And that's a very good movement for your eye, to imagine you're following the puck around the screen. It's almost like doing a stretch warm-up. Just 10 seconds is enough. Another really good one is the infinity symbol, the lazy 8, and that's to get your eyes moving smoothly. So look at the tip of your finger, or your visual guide if you want to use that, and just do the lazy 8. Keep your head still. I think I'm moving my head there. To get your eyes ready for smooth muscle tracking. I think I'm hypnotized now. And the other one is reading can be harmful because you're at one fixed focal length, so it's good to work the lens and the muscle around the lens. And so what you do is you stare at your hand, which is your near, and then choose something off in the distance for far. And you just go near and far 3 or 5 times. Near, far, and changing that focus then. Near, far, near, far, near, far, near, far. How long did that take? You're talking about 30 seconds of investment in Ping, lazy 8, near, far, and then after a reading session, the reboot. That's really going to look after your eye health. So I hope you found that useful content for today's episode 39. He hopes. I think it's 39. I'm going to take you over to the computer now and just walk you through the mind map so that you can review what we have covered already and get excited about what's yet to come. This is Lex McKee signing out just in time, I think, before the aircraft comes from Dorset in the UK. Bless you. Welcome to the computer view now as we look at the mind map overview of my whole programme on how to speed read. I learned speed reading from the Open University, an excellent publication on how to study. Derek Roundtree, I think it was. And then spent many, many years with Busan centres training trainers in speed reading. So this is a fusion of all the stuff that I've learned about speed reading as a dashboard, a mind map, so that you can benefit from all the techniques. First up then is the whole overview there, and if that looks a bit too intimidating, it should. That's the completed mind map. It will only make sense when we understand the parts. That's the lid of the jigsaw, so let's look at the first branch. Let's begin with the first branch then. Unusually for me, this one's at 11 o'clock. I'm a right-handed mind mapper. For me that makes sense therefore to start at 1 o'clock and move around clockwise, but I don't know. I must have been thinking something else on this day. So here is the first branch on preparing to speed read, and those are some of the exercises I've just taken you through in the garden. The muscle warm-ups, you see the guy there lifting the weights. So that's the ping exercise, that's the lazy 8, the infinity symbol, and the near and far, and then the eye rest exercise to really help you get ready muscle-wise for what is a muscle sport. Speed reading is a muscle sport. 1, 2, 3 relaxation. I recommend people go through a progressive relaxation before speed reading. We haven't done that yet, but I'm going to send you a link to my lovely friend Kay and her relaxation so you can get into the habit of getting to the point where you can go 1, 2, 3. Relax. We've had a whole video on reading on purpose. We talked about the aperture of a camera. When the camera aperture is tiny, we've got a very, very specific purpose. The quality of filtering the data becomes excellent. So we always read on purpose. That presets our mind. And I've also put here, clear the clutter. If you saw my desk, you would weep. I am a very, very messy person. But I know that I know that I know clutter around me doesn't help with speed reading, and neither does mental clutter. So in the best case scenario, I will relax, 1, 2, 3, relax. I'll do the muscle warm-ups. I will preset my purpose, and I will clear my mind of clutter by writing down anything else that's distracting me. These are not necessarily bad things. They can be good things, but they're cluttering up the mind. I go, I'll deal with those later. So I list them down and then focus on my purpose. So there's branch number 1. We also did a whole video on the big picture preview, how authors start with the end in mind, like Stephen Covey, and they'll check the index, the graphics, the contents, the headings, the skeleton, the structure of the book. So that's a technique that you can look at in another video that I will reference. Then we talked about using mind mapping to map the schema, map out what you know on the subject, and that sets your mind then to have a framework on which to attach the new discoveries you're going to make as you speed read. The number 1 technique for speed reading is the using the guide, but before that, let's just review the fact that having a very, very clear focus, listening to the words with your inner ear. I'm a fan of sub-vocalization, so the phone, listening, phono, that's sound. Listening to the words is good for you, I believe. That's a secondary sense, layering in the information. And then what you do with your body really makes a difference to your speed reading. If you were to watch me doing my expenses or my accounts, you would see normally, if I don't correct myself, hunched shoulders, a heavy sigh, as I resign myself to this onerous task. Many people, when they have to read something for work or for study, can take the same sort of negative physiology. It doesn't work. You need to be excited about what you're going to be reading, motivated, and your body, your physiology needs to reflect that as well, so you can use the guide with confidence and panache. And that's our next branch. Use the guide. So a visual guide is the number 1 way to improve content acquisition with accuracy and speed. And we've got a whole video on that one, which I'll also reference. What we didn't say in that video is that most of the interesting information an author will produce, if they're a good writer, will be in the topic sentence and the summary sentence. So looking usually at the first and last sentence, there will be more content relevant to your journey in those parts of the text. That's always worth knowing if you have to go that little bit faster. Now, the last three things are videos we haven't done yet. So this is a preview of coming attractions. We are going to look at wide angle vision, how you can use the visual guide and all the things we've learned so far, but get more words per focal fixation. So that's one to look forward to. And then we're going to do a little bit of Jedi mind tricks with what we call the motorway approach. You can trick your mind into reading faster very, very effectively. But you just have to set it up for success first. So that's coming up in a future video. The rhythm reading method is for those of us who can cope with the sound of a metronome or ideally music in the background to set the pace for our speed reading. So we'll do a video on that as well. And finally, remember the three pillars of speed reading. It's about more accurate content acquisition using the reading guide. It's about putting the stuff in context with techniques like the big picture preview and the schema. And it's about concentrating by laying aside all those distractions, the mental clutter and physical clutter, so that your full mental resources can be applied to reading with increased concentration, increased comprehension, and increased effectiveness. Going to leave it there for today. We want to keep these videos quite short, but I hope with the eye exercises and this, you feel this has been a good use of your time. Lex McKee, signing out.